Each weeknight during the games, CKPG News will be producing its 5 o'clock newscast live from the Games Plaza. As broadcast partner to the games, we wanted to be sure we were at the center of it all for athletes, fans, and families during the supper hour.
Oh, right up here beside the camera's good. Yeah.
Andy?
It's a Tuesday afternoon, a couple of weeks before the Canada Winter Games, and members of the CKPG News team are working out the plans for a live show.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for our live newscast,
which will air from the Civic Centre Plaza during the event.
The Civic Plaza, the Games Plaza, is going to be, a center for the Canada Winter Games, full of cultural activities, and I know there will be medal presentations there. We thought we wanted to sort of embrace that and do something different, get out of our studio and really immerse ourselves in the community.
Tonight at 5, 6:30, and 11. Have a great afternoon.
The nightly newscast will be aired with the help of a microwave transmitter, which will transfer the audio and video to our building on 3rd Avenue and then out to the community in a matter of seconds.
We will have a crew down at Games Plaza, of course. We're sending the signal back to our broadcast center via microwave signal. And then we'll have our full production crew at the station here running some of the stories from here. So really, at the site itself, we'll have our on-air personalities, and they'll be communicating with our production sources back here at the station.
Thanks for joining us. This is our first live newscast from Canada Games Plaza.
In the past, CKPG has broadcast live shows such as the Community Telethon, but it's the first time with HD technology. The 5 o'clock news will be broadcast from a different location.
2, 1, roll intro. I think this gives Prince George and Northern BC residents a great opportunity to come down to the Canada Games Plaza without having to come down here as you're having supper. You can watch it at home and you can start to feel the excitement, and then later on in the evening come down here for some of the exciting entertainment.
CKPG has a long-term goal of being able to broadcast live from different parts of the city, and the games will be a great springboard.
Residents of Prince George might not be able to make it to every event they'd like to see during the games, but if that's the case, don't worry. The Games has undertaken a new initiative, a webcast from many of the venues that will allow spectators from across the country watch some of Canada's best young athletes go for the gold.
It's 100 days until the opening ceremonies of the Canada Winter Games. And while the torch arrives in the city, producers from TSN tour the venues which will hold the games, trying to get a picture of how best to broadcast the events.
We need a platform here though for well, this is where kind of our main cameras would be. Between TSN and RDS, we're doing 40 hours of live coverage over the course of the 2 weeks of the games, including the opening ceremony and the closing ceremony.
Jim Panousis is a senior producer with TSN. The network has been partnered with the Canada Games over the past 5 events. The national broadcaster will broadcast around 40 hours of competition during the 2 weeks of the Winter Games, which translates to around 1 featured event per day.
5,000 and a 3,000. Well, we're going to bring our mobile and our full production to it. We'll probably have between 75 to 100 people all in, between our technical operations people and our production people.
Showing the entirety of the games would be a difficult undertaking for a traditional broadcaster, which is where Choyal Brown and SportsCanada.tv come in.
I thought amateur sports was in a catch-22. Broadcasters would say that there wasn't enough fans to watch amateur sports, and the reason why there wasn't enough fans was it wasn't being broadcast enough. So I thought I'd build my own network and see how that went.
Started in 2009, Sports Canada came about as a way to show amateur sport to a wider audience in British Columbia. Now, 6 years after its inception, the company has webcast thousands of events, from high school basketball games to elite-level international competitions.
Now we work with at least a dozen national sport organizations. We cover world-class events. Last summer we did 4 or 5 world-class events, including the World Championships for men's fast pitch and women's wheelchair basketball.
The webcast will cover over 900 hours of action from the games, which will allow families and friends of competitors to see their loved ones in action from wherever they are in Canada and even the world.
While TSN and RDS are happy to be here and to do as much as we can, we do have limits, as you say, and having the webcast here just allows more exposure to these athletes to more people.
So, if you can't make it down to the Coliseum for the Ringette quarterfinals, or you can't get a ticket for the gold medal hockey games, TSN and Sports Canada have got you covered. Adam Donnelly, CKPG News.
You can find broadcast schedules for both Canada Games broadcasters online at tsn.ca or canadagamestv.ca. Still to come, Mother Nature has come through with plenty of snow, and thousands of volunteers gear up to help out during the games.